I stared at my phone screen, my untouched birthday cupcake sitting in front of me. $10,000, transfer to Claire Richardson. Another scroll. $4,200, travel agency. Another. $3,500, Dr. Helen Foster, psychology services. For 6 years, I'd sent my parents $500 every month. $36,000. Money I'd earned while eating ramen for dinner, skipping vacations, wearing the same 3 work outfits on rotation. Money they said they desperately needed for medical bills, but they didn't need it. They'd been spending it on my little sister. And that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was what I found in the envelope hidden at the bottom of their desk drawer. My name is Emma Richardson, and this is the story of how I discovered my family had been lying to me for 4 years, and how I took back everything they stole. I turned 30 on a Tuesday. I woke up that morning in my 1-bedroom apartment in Richmond, Virginia, the January sun barely filtering through my blinds. For a moment, just one blissful, stupid moment, I thought maybe this year would be different. Maybe they'd remember. Maybe I'd wake up to a text message or a voicemail, or even just a Facebook post with a generic "Happy Birthday" and a cake emoji. My phone had 3 notifications. 2 were promotional emails from Target. 1 was a reminder that my car insurance payment was due. I sat on the edge of my bed and told myself it didn't matter. I was 30 years old. I didn't need my parents to make a big deal about my birthday. I was an adult. Adults don't need birthday parties and phone calls and validation from their families. But God, I wanted it anyway. I went through my morning routine on autopilot: shower, coffee, toast with peanut butter because I was out of butter and hadn't had time to grocery shop. I pulled on my work clothes, a navy blazer I'd had for 3 years and black slacks that were starting to pill at the inner thighs, and checked my phone again. Still nothing. By 10 a.m., I was at my desk at the pharmaceutical sales office, smiling through a product presentation with a local clinic. By noon, I'd closed 2 small orders and earned myself a $200 commission. By 3 p.m., I'd given up on the idea that anyone was going to acknowledge my birthday. At 3:47 p.m., I opened Instagram. I don't know why I did it. Maybe I was feeling masochistic. Maybe some part of me knew what I'd find. But I scrolled through my feed with my coffee going cold in my hand, and then I saw it. My sister Claire, standing in front of a departures board at Richmond International Airport. She was wearing a cream-colored sweater I'd never seen before, probably new, probably expensive, and her honey blonde hair was styled in perfect waves. Her smile was radiant, the kind of smile that lit up her whole face. Behind her, I could see luggage, nice luggage, the kind with 4 wheels that glide smoothly across airport tile instead of the 2-wheeled roller bag I'd been using since college. The caption read, "Surprise trip to Paris. I can't believe Mom and Dad did this for me. Best parents ever." There were already 73 comments, heart emojis everywhere. OMG, so jealous. Have the best time. You deserve it. And then I saw it, pinned at the very top. A comment from my mother. "My pride and joy. Bon voyage, sweetheart. You're the one who makes us so proud." I read it 3 times. You're the one who makes us so proud. Not one of the ones. Not you make us proud. The one. As in, the only one. My hands were shaking. I set my coffee down carefully, afraid I'd spill it. Around me, the office buzzed with the normal sounds of a Tuesday afternoon. Keyboards clicking, someone laughing at a joke in the break room, the hum of the air conditioning. Everything was normal for everyone else. I refreshed the post. 76 comments now. Someone had added, "Your parents are goals." I locked my phone and stared at my computer screen without seeing it. My little sister was going to Paris. A surprise trip. A trip that probably cost thousands of dollars, and my parents had arranged it, paid for it, surprised her with it. On my birthday, my 30th birthday, which they had forgotten, I picked up my phone again and called my mother. It rang once, twice, 3 times, 4. "Emma! Hi, honey." Her voice was bright, distracted. I could hear airport announcements in the background, that echoey quality of large public spaces. "I'm so glad you called. We're at the airport with Claire. She's about to board." "It's my birthday, Mom." Silence, just for a second. Then, Oh, oh, sweetie. Yes, happy birthday. I'm sorry. We've just been so busy getting Claire ready for her trip. And listen, honey, I really need to go. They're about to start boarding. Can I call you later? Sure, I said. My voice sounded hollow even to my own ears. Later is fine. Great! Love you! Have a wonderful day! She hung up before I could respond. I sat there with my phone in my hand, the screen dark, and I felt something crack open inside my chest. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't a sudden explosion of anger or hurt. It was quieter than that. It was the sound of something that had been supporting weight for too long finally giving way. I opened my laptop, logged into the joint bank account I shared with my parents. It had started 6 years ago. My father had a heart attack, minor but scary, and the medical bills piled up faster than they could handle. My parents didn't have great insurance. My father's small accounting firm barely covered basics. My mother hadn't worked outside the home in 20 years. I'd just landed my first real sales job. The money wasn't incredible, but it was more than I'd ever made. And they were my parents. They needed help. Just until we get back on our feet, my father had said. We'll pay you back. $500 a month. Automatic transfer. I never missed a payment in 6 years. 72 months. $36,000. I'd eaten ramen for weeks at a time to make sure that money was there. I'd skipped my coworker's wedding in Napa because I couldn't afford the flight. I'd worn shoes with holes in them until the soles literally separated from the leather. I'd done it gladly because family helps family, because they needed it. Except apparently, they didn't need it, not the way I thought. I clicked through the transaction history, my stomach sinking with every entry. March 15th, 2024, minus $4,200. Paris Travel Agency, February 3rd, 2024, minus $1,800. Nordstrom, January 10th, 2025, minus $10,000. Transfer to Claire Richardson, gift, December 18th, 2024, minus $3,500. Dr. Helen Foster Psychology Services. That last one repeated, every month, for the past 18 months, $53,000 in payments. I kept scrolling. More charges for clothes, for restaurants, for a new laptop, for concert tickets, for a weekend trip to Charleston. My money, my $36,000, being spent like it was nothing, being spent on my sister. I thought about every sacrifice I'd made, every time I'd said no to something I wanted because I was helping my family, every weekend trip I'd declined, every dinner invitation I'd turned down because I was watching my budget, and they'd been taking my money and treating Claire like a princess. I looked at my birthday cupcake, the one I'd bought myself from the bakery downstairs during my lunch break. Chocolate with vanilla frosting, $3.50. My phone buzzed. A text from Claire sent to our family group chat. At the gate! So excited! Love you guys! My mother replied immediately. We love you so much! Have the time of your life! My father. Bon voyage, kiddo. You deserve this. I was in the group chat. Right there. They could see I was in it. Neither of them said anything to me. I closed my laptop, picked up my cupcake, threw it in the trash. Then I made a decision. I left work early, told my boss I wasn't feeling well, which wasn't a lie. I felt sick, physically, viscerally sick. Back in my apartment, I paced for 10 minutes before opening my laptop again. I went through every transaction in that account for the past 6 years. I made a spreadsheet, I color-coded it. Medical expenses, legitimate, $7,200. Household bills, legitimate, $11,500. Claire-related spending, $17,300. That left me with about $3,600 I couldn't account for. Groceries maybe, gas, whatever. But $17,300 had gone directly to making Claire's life easier, better, more comfortable. While I'd been living on a budget so tight I'd started buying generic cereal. I thought about calling them, demanding an explanation, but I already knew what they'd say. Claire needed more support. Claire was going through a hard time. Claire, 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 it had always been Claire. Growing up, Claire got the bigger bedroom, the new clothes, the private tutoring when she struggled in school. I got hand-me-downs from cousins and a good job when I brought home straight A's. When Claire wanted to try dance in middle school, my parents paid for expensive lessons and costumes without blinking. When I asked to take photography classes in high school, my dad said we couldn't afford it. I worked at a grocery store to save up for a used camera. My parents went to every single one of Claire's dance recitals. Front row, flowers in hand. They came to one of my photography shows, showed up late, left early, and spent the whole time on their phones. I'd told myself it didn't matter. I'd told myself I didn't need their validation. I was the strong one, the independent one. I didn't need anyone's help. But God, it would have been nice to feel like I mattered. I kept digging through the bank records, and that's when I saw the repeated charge. Every month, like clockwork. $3,500. Dr. Helen Foster, Psychology Services. I Googled the name. Dr. Helen Foster. Licensed clinical psychologist, specializing in anxiety disorders and family therapy. Claire was in therapy, and my parents had been paying for it with my money. I sat back in my chair, processing this. On one hand, if Claire needed therapy, that was good. Mental health was important. I wasn't going to begrudge my sister getting help. But on the other hand, why didn't they tell me? Why keep it secret? And why was I paying for it? I remembered things, now that I was thinking about it. Claire canceling plans last minute because she didn't feel good. Claire staying in her room for days at a time. My mother hovering over her, asking if she was okay, if she needed anything, treating her like she was made of glass. I'd thought Claire was just being dramatic, the spoiled baby sister who got all the attention, but maybe there was more to it. I picked up my phone and called Jessica, my coworker and closest friend. "Hey," she answered. "Aren't you supposed to be at work?" "I left early. Can I come over?" "Of course. You okay?" "No," I said. "I'm really not." 20 minutes later, I was sitting on Jessica's couch with a glass of wine I didn't want, telling her everything. The money. The Instagram post. The Paris trip. My forgotten birthday. The therapy payments. Jessica listened without interrupting, her expression growing darker with every detail. "Emma," she said when I finally stopped talking, "that's fucked up." "I know." "No, I mean, that's really fucked up, like, truly awful." "I know." "What are you going to do?" I took a sip of wine. "I don't know yet." Jessica leaned forward. "Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if it were me, I'd take that money back. All of it." "Is that wrong?" "Wrong? Emma, it's your money. You gave it to them in good faith, and they lied about what they needed it for. That's not wrong. That's self-preservation." I wanted to believe her, but there was still that voice in my head, the one that had been there since childhood. Don't be selfish. Family helps family. Don't make waves. "What if Claire really needs the therapy?" I asked. "What if taking the money back hurts her?" Jessica looked at me for a long moment. "Then your parents can pay for it themselves. Or Claire can get a job and pay for it. She's 26 years old, Emma. She's not a child." "She's always been fragile." Or maybe your parents made her fragile by treating her like she'd break if the wind blew too hard. Jessica set down her wine glass. "Look, I'm not saying Claire doesn't deserve help, but you deserve better than this. You've been supporting them for 6 years while they treated you like an afterthought. When are you going to start putting yourself first?" I didn't have an answer. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that comment on Instagram. "You're the one who makes us so proud." At 2 a.m., I got out of bed and went to my closet. In the back, behind my winter coats, was a box of old things from my parents' house. Things I'd grabbed when I moved out. Things I'd never really gone through. I pulled it out and started digging. Old report cards, a few photos, a program from one of Claire's dance recitals. And then, at the very bottom, I found a manila envelope. The return address was from a law firm, Wright and Associates, Estate Planning. It was addressed to me, at my parents' house. Dated September 2019, 4 years ago. The envelope had been opened. The flap was torn, not sealed. I pulled out the letter inside. "Dear Ms. Emma Richardson, we are writing to inform you that you have been named as a beneficiary in the last will and testament of Martha Louise Richardson, deceased August 2018. Per the terms of the will, you are entitled to receive the sum of $50,000 from the estate. Please contact our office at your earliest convenience to begin the distribution process. I read it 3 times. My grandmother, my mother's mother, had died in 2018. I'd been at the funeral. I'd cried. I'd helped plan the reception. I'd driven my parents to and from the service because my father had been too emotional to drive. No one had ever mentioned a will. No one had ever mentioned an inheritance. I checked the date again. September 2019. This letter had been sent 6 months after my grandmother died. To my parents' house. Not to my apartment. They'd intercepted it. They'd opened it, and they'd never told me. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the letter. $50,000. My grandmother had left me $50,000, and my parents had hidden it from me for 4 years. I looked at the clock. 2:37 a.m. Too late to call anyone. Too early to do anything productive. So I just sat there on my bedroom floor, surrounded by old memories, holding proof that my family had been lying to me for years, and I knew what I had to do. I called the law office first thing Wednesday morning. Wright and Associates, this is Monica speaking. Hi, I need to speak with someone about an estate matter. The estate of Martha Richardson? One moment, please. The hold music was classical, Vivaldi, I thought. It felt absurdly civilized for what I was about to do. This is Daniel Wright. Mr. Wright, my name is Emma Richardson. I received a letter from your office in 2019 about my grandmother's will. Pause. Emma Richardson? Yes, I have that file. How can I help you? I just found the letter. Yesterday. It had been sent to my parents' house and they never gave it to me. Another pause, longer this time. I see. That's unfortunate. The letter was sent to the address we had on file for you, which was my parents' address at the time. I was living in an apartment, but I guess Grandma had their address for me. Ms. Richardson, I'm going to be frank with you. Your parents were listed as co-executors of your grandmother's estate. They were legally obligated to inform you of your inheritance. But they didn't. No, it appears they didn't. I closed my eyes. What happens now? Well, the good news is that the inheritance is still yours. The estate has been in probate, but your portion has been held in trust pending your contact. With interest, it's now approximately $56,800. $56,000. The number was so large it didn't feel real. What do I need to do? Come to my office, bring identification, sign some paperwork. The check can be issued within a week. And my parents, will they know? They'll be notified that you've claimed your inheritance, yes. It's required by law. Okay. I took a breath. Okay. When can I come in? Are you free this afternoon? Daniel Wright's office was in a historic building downtown, all dark wood and brass fixtures. He was younger than I expected, maybe 40, with kind eyes and a firm handshake. He walked me through the paperwork, verified my identity, explained the probate process and why it had taken so long. Apparently, my grandmother's estate had been complicated. Multiple properties, investments, other beneficiaries. Your grandmother was very clear in her wishes, Daniel said. She left specific amounts to specific people. You received $50,000. Your sister received $30,000. I looked up sharply. Claire got money too? Yes, but with conditions. The trust specifies that Claire can only access the funds when she turns 27, and only if she's completed a bachelor's degree and lived independently for at least 1 year. Why the conditions? Daniel smiled slightly. I never met your grandmother, but based on the language in the will, I'd say she was trying to encourage your sister's independence. The money for you was unconditional. The money for Claire was contingent on her proving she could stand on her own 2 feet. I sat back in the leather chair, processing this. My grandmother had seen it. She'd seen how my parents treated us. Me like I needed nothing. Claire like she needed everything. And she'd tried to balance it out. Does Claire know about her inheritance? Not yet. She won't be 27 until later this year. We'll contact her when she's eligible. And my parents knew about both inheritances? Yes, as executors, they were fully informed of all the terms. So they'd known. For 4 years, they'd known I had $50,000 sitting in trust, and they'd never said a word. They'd let me send them $500 a month while I struggled to make ends meet, and they'd never thought to mention that I had a safety net I didn't even know about. Mr. Wright, I have one more question. Of course. Is what they did illegal? Hiding my inheritance from me? He was quiet for a moment, choosing his words carefully. Concealment of inheritance by an executor is a serious matter. It could be considered a breach of fiduciary duty. In some cases, it can be prosecuted as fraud. But it would be difficult to prove intent, and it would require you to pursue legal action against your parents. That's a decision only you can make. I thought about it. Court battles, lawyers, family drama splashed across legal documents. I don't want to sue them, I said. I just want what's mine. Then that's exactly what you'll get. I signed the papers. Daniel said the check would be ready by Friday. He gave me his card and told me to call if I had any questions. As I was leaving, he said, Ms. Richardson, for what it's worth, I'm sorry this happened to you. Family matters should never be this complicated. Thank you. I walked out into the January sunshine and called Jessica. How'd it go? I'm getting $56,000. She screamed so loud I had to pull the phone away from my ear. Emma, oh my God, that's amazing! Jessica, my parents hid this from me for 4 years. Her enthusiasm dimmed. Shit, I'm sorry, but you know what? This is good. You don't need them anymore. You're going to be fine. I wanted to believe her. That evening, I logged back into the joint bank account. I looked at the balance, $41,847. I did the math, $36,000 in, spread over 6 years. Some of it spent on legitimate bills. A lot of it spent on Claire. I clicked transfer. The first transfer was $5,000 into my personal account, then another $5,000, then another. It took me 3 days to move it all. I transferred $31,000 back to myself, leaving $5,000 in the account for emergencies. Each time I clicked confirm, I waited to feel guilty, waited for the crushing weight of shame to tell me I was being selfish, that I was hurting my family, that I was the bad guy in this story. But it never came. Instead, I felt lighter, freer, like I'd been carrying a weight I didn't know was there, and suddenly someone had lifted it off my shoulders. By Friday, I had $31,000 in my personal account. On Monday, I'd have the inheritance check for $56,000. $87,000 total. More money than I'd ever had in my life. I looked up medical billing courses, found a well-reviewed 6-month program at the community college. $8,000 for the full certification. I enrolled that night, paid in full. Claire called me from Paris on Saturday. Emma, oh my God, you have to see this city. I put the phone on speaker and continued folding laundry. It sounds beautiful. It's incredible. We went to the Louvre today, and tonight we're having dinner at this amazing restaurant near the Eiffel Tower. Mom and Dad are being so generous. I'm sure they are. Emma, thank you. I paused. For what? I know you've been helping them out financially, Mom told me. So, indirectly, you helped make this trip possible. So thank you. You're the best big sister. I closed my eyes, breathed through the anger. Don't worry about it, Claire. I mean it. When I get back, I want to take you to dinner. Just us, my treat. Sure. That sounds nice. Love you. Love you too. I hung up and finished folding my laundry in silence. On Sunday, I went to Daniel Wright's office and picked up the check. $56,847. I deposited it via mobile app. Watched the balance update in real time. $87,847. My phone buzzed. An email from the bank. Notice, large withdrawal from joint account. Action required. Another email forwarded from Daniel Wright's office to my parents. Estate of Martha Richardson, beneficiary contact. I set my phone face down on my coffee table. In approximately 10 minutes, my parents were going to realize that I'd taken back my money and claimed my inheritance. And then all hell was going to break loose. I poured myself a glass of wine, sat on my couch, and waited for my phone to ring. It took 7 minutes. My father's name lit up my phone screen at 8:47 p.m. I let it ring. Once, twice, 3 times. On the 4th ring, I picked up. Emma. His voice was strained, tight. Not angry yet, but getting there. We need to talk about the bank account. I took a sip of wine. What about it? There's money missing. A lot of money. Over $30,000. I know. Silence. I could hear him breathing on the other end, processing. You know? I withdrew it, Dad. It was my money. I put it in. I took it out. But that money was for... Emma, that was for household expenses. For emergencies. We've been counting on that. For emergencies? I kept my voice level, calm. Like a surprise trip to Paris? Another pause. Longer this time. That was different. Claire needed... What did Claire need, Dad? A vacation while you forgot my birthday? We didn't forget... Yes, you did. My calm was cracking now, fissures forming. Mom hung up on me at the airport because she was too busy with Claire. Neither of you called. Neither of you texted. You didn't even acknowledge it until I brought it up. Emma, that's not fair. We've been under a lot of stress. I've given you $36,000 over 6 years. The words came out louder than I intended. $36,000, Dad, while I ate ramen for dinner and wore shoes with holes in them because I couldn't afford new ones. Because I thought you needed help. Because I thought I was doing the right thing. You were helping you spoil Claire? Yeah, I saw the bank statements. The clothes from Nordstrom, the trips to Charleston, the $10,000 gift you gave her in January. He was quiet. I could picture him in his study, sitting at his desk with his reading glasses on, trying to figure out how to spin this. There's something else, Dad. What? I also got a call from Daniel Wright about Grandma Martha's will. The silence that followed was different, heavier, the silence of someone who knows they've been caught. Emma. $50,000. My voice was shaking now. Grandma left me $50,000 in 2018, and you never told me. It's not that simple. Then explain it to me. Explain how it's complicated to tell your daughter that her grandmother left her an inheritance. Explain how you forgot to mention it for 4 years while I was sending you money every month. We were going to tell you. When? When were you going to tell me? After I'd given you another $36,000? After I'd paid for Claire's entire life? Your sister needed that money more than you did. There it was, the truth, finally out in the open. She needed it more, I repeated, because she's the one you actually care about. That's not true. Emma, you have to understand. Claire has been going through so much. She's been struggling with anxiety, with depression. She needed support. And I didn't. I've been struggling too, Dad. I've been working myself to death, living paycheck to paycheck, turning down every opportunity that came my way because I was too busy supporting you. But you never asked how I was doing. You never checked in. You just took my money and gave it to Claire. We used some of it for her therapy. I saw $3,500 a month to Dr. Foster. That's legitimate, Dad. I'm not saying Claire doesn't deserve help. But the rest? The trips, the shopping, the gifts? That wasn't therapy. That was spoiling her while I sacrificed everything. His voice, when it came, was smaller, weaker. What do you want me to say? I want you to admit that you've been lying to me. I want you to admit that you forgot my birthday because you were too focused on Claire. I want you to admit that you hid my inheritance because you thought Claire deserved it more than I did. Emma, admit it. Long pause. Then, your mother and I thought that you were doing fine on your own. You've always been so independent, so capable. Claire needed more help. So you decided I didn't need anything? You decided that being strong meant I didn't deserve support? Do you have any idea how that feels? To be punished for not falling apart? We never meant to punish you. But you did. Every time you chose Claire over me. Every time you forgot about me because you were too busy with her. Every single time you made me feel invisible. I was crying now, hot tears running down my face. I wiped them away angrily. I took my money back, Dad. All of it. And I'm claiming my inheritance. You don't get to decide anymore what I deserve. Emma, please, we need that money. I might lose my job. That's not my problem. Don't be selfish. Selfish? I laughed, bitter. I've been the opposite of selfish for 6 years. I'm done now. I'm done being your backup plan. I'm done being invisible. Your mother is going to be devastated. Tell her I'll be waiting for her apology. A real one. Not a sorry you feel that way apology. A real acknowledgement of what you both did. Emma. I hung up. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. I set it on the coffee table and pulled my knees up to my chest, wrapping my arms around them. I'd done it. I'd actually stood up to him, and it felt terrible and wonderful at the same time. My phone buzzed. A text from my father. Please call me back. We need to talk about this rationally. I blocked his number. 3 minutes later, my mother called. I sent it to voicemail. She called again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Then an email arrived. Subject line. How could you? I opened it. Emma, I cannot believe what your father just told me. After everything we've done for you, this is how you repay us? By stealing from us? By destroying this family? That money was not yours to take. It was family money. We were all supposed to support each other, and now you've betrayed that trust. Do you have any idea how much stress you've caused? Your sister is devastated. She's been having panic attacks since she found out what you did. She's crying every day. Is that what you wanted? To hurt your sister? We raised you better than this. We taught you about family loyalty, about helping each other, but apparently none of that matters to you. Apparently, money is more important than your own family. Your father might lose his job. We might lose the house. And you don't even care. You're so selfish, so focused on your needs that you can't see how you're destroying everyone around you. The inheritance money should have been split between you and Claire. Your grandmother was not in her right mind when she wrote that will. She had dementia, Emma. She didn't know what she was doing. That money belongs to both of you, but you're too greedy to share. I need you to return the money immediately. All of it. And you need to apologize to your sister for ruining her trip and causing her so much pain. If you don't do this, there will be consequences. We will not let you tear this family apart. Mom, I read it 3 times. Each time, I felt my blood pressure rising. Selfish, greedy, destroying the family. Not once did she acknowledge what they'd done. Not once did she say, I'm sorry we forgot your birthday, or I'm sorry we hid your inheritance, or I'm sorry we made you feel invisible for 30 years. It was all my fault. I was the villain in their story. I opened a new email and started typing. Mom, I gave you $36,000 over 6 years because you told me you needed it for medical bills and essential expenses. You used it to send Claire on vacations and buy her expensive gifts. You hid my $50,000 inheritance from me for 4 years. That's not family money. That's fraud. You forgot my 30th birthday because you were too busy taking Claire to Paris. You publicly commented on Instagram that Claire is the one who makes us proud. I didn't betray the family. You did. Every time you chose her over me. Every time you made me feel like I didn't matter. I'm not returning the money. It was mine to begin with. I earned it, and I'm using it to build a life that doesn't revolve around being your ATM. If Claire is having panic attacks, get her actual help. Don't use her mental health as a weapon against me. If Dad loses his job, that's unfortunate, but it's not my responsibility. You're both adults. Figure it out. And if Grandma had dementia, then take it up with the lawyer. But we both know she didn't. She was sharp as a tack until the day she died, and she saw exactly what you were doing to me. Don't contact me again unless you're ready to have an honest conversation about how you've treated me. And by honest, I mean actually taking responsibility instead of blaming me. Emma. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. 2 minutes later, my mother called again. I sent it to voicemail. She left a message. I deleted it without listening. I poured myself another glass of wine and sat on my couch, staring at nothing. My phone kept buzzing. Texts from my mother. More calls. Another email. I turned off my phone completely. The apartment was silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of traffic outside my window. I'd just blown up my family. And I wasn't sorry. I went to work on Monday in a daze, smiled through client meetings, processed orders, made small talk with coworkers about their weekends. At lunch, Jessica found me in my car in the parking lot, eating a sandwich and staring at my phone. "Emma, you okay?" I looked up. "My family hates me." She opened the passenger door and slid in. "Tell me everything." I did. The phone call with my father, the email from my mother, the threats about the inheritance, the guilt-tripping about Claire's panic attacks. Jessica listened, her expression growing darker with every detail. "Your mother said Claire is having panic attacks because of you?" "Apparently." "That's manipulation. Classic manipulation." "Maybe I am hurting her, though. Maybe I should—" "Stop." Jessica grabbed my hand. "Listen to me. You are not responsible for Claire's mental health. You are not responsible for your parents' finances. You are not responsible for fixing everyone else's problems while you suffer." "But—" "No buts. They stole from you, Emma. They hid your inheritance. They forgot your birthday. They treated you like garbage for 30 years. And now they're trying to guilt you into giving them more money. Don't let them." I took a shaky breath. I feel like I'm going crazy, like maybe I'm the one who's wrong. "You're not wrong, you're just used to being the scapegoat." Jessica squeezed my hand. "So, what's your plan now?" "I enrolled in a medical billing course. It starts next week." "Good. What else?" "I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead." "Okay, let's think." Jessica pulled out her phone and opened a notes app. "You have the course. That's 6 months. What happens after?" "I get certified. Then I look for a job in healthcare administration. Something stable. Something that pays better than pharmaceutical sales." "Perfect. Where do you want to live?" "What?" "In 6 months, when you have a new job and a new career, where do you want to live? Here? Somewhere else?" I hadn't thought about it. I like Richmond, but maybe a better apartment? Somewhere with actual counter space and a dishwasher?" Jessica typed. "Better apartment. Got it. What about dating? Friends? Hobbies?" "Jessica, I'm serious. You've spent 6 years putting your life on hold for your family. What do you actually want? Just for you?" I thought about it. Really thought about it. "I want to travel," I said slowly. "I've never been anywhere. Claire's been to Paris, and I've never even left the East Coast." "Where would you go?" "I don't know. Italy? Japan? Somewhere with good food and history and possibilities." Jessica smiled. "Okay, we're putting that on the list." "I can't afford—" "You have $87,000. I need to save that." "You need to live, Emma. You need to do things that make you happy. That's the whole point of taking back your money, not to hoard it, but to actually use it for yourself." She was right. Of course she was right. "Start small," Jessica said. "Take a weekend trip somewhere, Charleston, Savannah, somewhere you can drive to, just to prove to yourself that you can." "Okay." "And the course, you're really doing it?" "I paid the full $8,000 already. Non-refundable." "Good. Don't back out. Don't let them guilt you into quitting." "I won't." We sat in silence for a moment. Then Jessica said, "Can I ask you something?" "Sure. Why do you think your parents treated you so differently from Claire?" I'd been asking myself that same question for years. "I don't know. Maybe because Claire needed more help? She's always been more fragile. Or maybe they made her fragile by treating her that way." I looked at her. "Think about it," Jessica continued. "They praised you for being independent and strong, so you became independent and strong. They coddled Claire and told her she needed protection, so she became someone who needed protection. They created you both." That's a really depressing thought. But probably accurate. Jessica checked her phone. "Listen, I have to get back, but I'm serious about the trip this weekend, just 2 days. We'll go somewhere fun. My treat." "Jessica, my treat. You've had the worst birthday in history. Let me do something nice for you." "Okay," I said quietly. "Thank you." She hugged me, quick and fierce. You're going to be fine. Better than fine. You're going to be amazing. After she left, I sat in my car for another 10 minutes, looking at the list she'd made in her notes app. She'd texted it to me. Emma's new life. Medical billing course. 6 months. Better apartment. Dishwasher required. Travel. Start with weekend trip. Make real friends, not just work friends. Take up photography again? Stop feeling guilty. I saved it to my phone. That evening, I went home and looked up weekend getaways from Richmond, found a bed and breakfast in Asheville, North Carolina. Art galleries, mountain views, good restaurants. I booked it for next weekend. 2 nights, private room with a balcony, $400. A year ago, I would have talked myself out of it. Too expensive, too frivolous. Save the money for emergencies, but I clicked confirm anyway. Then I Googled medical billing classes Richmond, VA, and pulled up my course schedule. Classes on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, 6 to 9 p.m., plus online modules I could do on weekends. It looked hard, comprehensive, exactly what I needed. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. Emma, it's Aunt Rebecca. I heard about what happened. Can we talk? Rebecca was my father's older sister. I hadn't spoken to her in months. I called her back. Emma, thank God, I've been trying to reach you. Hi, Aunt Rebecca. How did you get my number? Your father gave it to me. He's worried about you. He should be worried about himself. She laughed, surprising me. Oh, honey, I'm not calling to guilt you. I'm calling to say congratulations. What? For standing up to them. For taking your money back. For claiming your inheritance. Good for you. I sat down on my couch, stunned. You're not mad? Mad, Emma? I've watched your parents treat you like an afterthought for years. I've bit my tongue at every family gathering, every holiday, but what they did with the inheritance, that's criminal. Literally. Dad said they were going to tell me. Bullshit. Karen never had any intention of telling you. She was furious when your grandmother left you more than Claire. She thought it was unfair. Unfair? She thought the money should be split evenly. She didn't care that your grandmother specifically wanted you to have more. I closed my eyes. Why does she hate me so much? She doesn't hate you, honey. She's complicated. Your mother had a rough childhood. Her own mother abandoned her when she was 8. Karen grew up feeling unwanted, unloved. And then she had 2 daughters, one who needed her desperately, and one who seemed fine without her. So she decided to focus all her attention on Claire? Essentially, and she resented you for not needing her the way Claire did. That's insane. It's human. Messed up, but human. Rebecca sighed. Look, I'm not excusing what they did. I'm just explaining it. Your mother has issues she's never dealt with. Your father enables her because he doesn't know how to stand up to her, and you and Claire got caught in the crossfire. What about Claire's therapy? Do you know what that's for? Anxiety, panic attacks, depression. Karen told me it started about 2 years ago. Claire was having trouble leaving the house, trouble functioning. Your parents got her into therapy, and it's helped, but they used my money to pay for it without telling me. Yes, I thought about this. Aunt Rebecca, can I ask you something? Of course. Faye, do you think Claire knows? About the money? About where it came from? Long pause. I don't know. But if I were you, I'd ask her directly. Claire came home from Paris on Wednesday. She didn't call me, didn't text. Radio silence. I knew she was back because I saw Instagram stories, her bedroom, her unpacking, a caption that said, Paris was amazing, but home is home. On Thursday, I was in my first medical billing class when my phone buzzed with a call from her. I sent it to voicemail. She called again and again. During the break, I stepped outside and listened to her voicemail. Emma, what the hell is going on? Mom and Dad are freaking out. They said you took money from their account? They said you're claiming Grandma's inheritance and not sharing it? This is crazy. Please call me back. I'm really confused and kind of scared. I deleted it. She called again as I was driving home from class. This time, I answered, Emma, finally, what's happening? Hi, Claire. Why are Mom and Dad saying you stole money from them? That doesn't make sense. You would never. I didn't steal anything. I withdrew the money I gave them. The $36,000 I transferred into their account over the past 6 years. Silence. Then, wait, what? I've been sending them $500 a month for 6 years. They told me they needed it for medical bills and expenses. They lied. I don't understand. They used my money to pay for your trips, your clothes, your gifts, including your Paris vacation. No, that's not. Emma, they wouldn't. Claire, I saw the bank statements. $4,000 to the travel agency, $1,800 to Nordstrom, $10,000 transferred directly to your account in January, all from the account I was funding. I could hear her breathing, fast and shallow. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know that was your money. Didn't you ever wonder where they got the money for all of that? They've both been complaining about finances for years. I don't know what I thought. I just assumed they had it. They had it because I gave it to them, while I was eating ramen and wearing shoes with holes in them. Emma, her voice cracked. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. There's more. More? Grandma left me $50,000 in her will. Mom and Dad hid it from me for 4 years. What? That's not... Grandma left you money? She left you money too. $30,000 in a trust. You get it when you turn 27, but only if you finish college and live on your own for a year. I could hear her crying now. Soft, choked sobs. Claire, I'm 26. I'm not in college. I live with Mom and Dad. I'm not going to get it, am I? Not unless you meet the conditions. Grandma thought I was a failure. No, Grandma thought you had potential, but Mom and Dad were holding you back. She was trying to give you an incentive to break free. Silence, just her crying. Claire, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with me. Okay. Did you know? About my money? About how much I was giving them? Pause. Too long of a pause. Claire? I saw the bank statements last year. I was helping Dad with some paperwork, and I saw the monthly transfers from your account. My stomach dropped. You knew. I asked Mom about it. She said you were happy to help. She said you made good money and you insisted on contributing. And you believed her? I wanted to believe her. Her voice rose, defensive. I wanted to believe that you were doing well and that you didn't mind helping, because if I believed anything else, I'd have to admit that I was taking advantage of you, and I didn't want to admit that. So you just didn't ask me? No, barely a whisper. I didn't ask you. For an entire year. Yes. While they paid for your therapy with my money. While they took you on trips with my money. While they bought you things with my money. Yes. She was sobbing now. Emma, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was a coward. I didn't want to know the truth because the truth would mean I'd have to change, and I was too scared to change. I sat in my car in my apartment parking lot, gripping the steering wheel with one hand and the phone with the other. You used me, I said quietly. I know. For a year, you knew I was struggling, and you let them keep taking from me. I know. I hate myself for it. I hate myself so much, Emma. I don't know how to make this right. I don't know if you can. Please, please don't hate me. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but please don't hate me. I closed my eyes. Part of me wanted to hate her. It would be so easy to hate her, to make her the villain alongside our parents, to cut her out completely and never look back. But I couldn't, because Claire was a victim too. Maybe not the way I was, but in her own way. Our parents had made her dependent, fragile, incapable of functioning without them. They'd trapped her in a cage of low expectations and constant coddling, and she'd never learned how to break free. I don't hate you, I said finally, but I can't trust you right now. I understand. And I need you to understand something. This, what Mom and Dad did, what you let happen, this is why I took the money back. This is why I'm claiming my inheritance, because I can't keep being the person everyone takes from and no one gives to. You're right. You're completely right. I need space, Claire, Time to figure out what I want without our family drama hanging over me. Okay, I'll give you space. Are you going to be okay? She laughed bitterly. No, probably not. Mom is furious with me for not defending her. Dad keeps asking me to convince you to come back. And Dr. Foster says I need to move out and get my own place if I'm ever going to get better. So, no, I'm not okay. What are you going to do? I don't know. Maybe Dr. Foster is right. Maybe I need to actually try to stand on my own. It's scary at first, but it gets better. Were you scared when you moved out? Terrified. But you did it anyway. Yes. How? Because staying was scarier than leaving. She was quiet for a long moment. Then, Emma? Yeah? Can I ask you something? And will you be honest? Okay. Do you think I can change? Do you think I can be someone other than this? I thought about the Claire I'd known growing up. The one who was bright and creative and funny when our parents weren't around. The one who used to draw elaborate stories and act them out with stuffed animals. The one who had dreams bigger than the small box our parents had built around her. Yes, I said. I think you can, but you have to want it, really want it, not just say you want it because it's what Dr. Foster tells you to want. I want it, she whispered. I'm just so scared. I know, but you're 26 years old, Claire. If you don't do it now, when will you? You're right. Talk to Dr. Foster. Make a plan. Start small, but start. Will you help me? Once you've had your space? Maybe, if you actually follow through. If you show me you're serious. I will, I promise. Don't promise me, Claire. Promise yourself. We hung up after that. I sat in my car for a long time, watching the sun set through my windshield. My phone buzzed, a text from Claire. Thank you for not hating me. I don't deserve it, but thank you. Then another. I'm going to look at apartments this weekend. And another. I'm scared, but I'm doing it. I didn't respond, but I saved the messages. That night, I started my first online module for the medical billing course. Medical terminology, ICD-10 codes, insurance verification processes. It was hard, really hard. My brain hurt after an hour of studying. But it was mine, my education, my future, my choice. And for the first time in years, I felt like I was moving forward instead of just treading water. My phone buzzed, an email from my mother. Subject, final warning. I deleted it without reading it. Then I blocked her email address too. I was done being their target. Done being their bank account. Done being the daughter they only remembered when they needed something. Jessica texted, "How was class? Hard, but good. Proud of you. Still on for Asheville this weekend? Definitely. Pack cute hiking boots. We're doing the outdoorsy thing." I smiled. Packed cute hiking boots. I wasn't sure I even owned cute hiking boots. I owned old sneakers and work shoes, and that was about it. I opened Amazon and ordered hiking boots, the good kind. The kind that cost $120 and had 5-star reviews. Then I ordered a new backpack, and a water bottle, and a rain jacket, $300 total. A year ago, I would have felt guilty about spending that much on myself. Now, I felt free. The call from Daniel Wright came on a Tuesday morning, 2 weeks after I'd claimed my inheritance. I was in the middle of studying medical billing codes, memorizing the difference between ICD-10 and CPT codes, when my phone rang. "Ms. Richardson, I'm sorry to bother you, but we have a situation." My stomach dropped. What kind of situation? "Your parents have hired an attorney. They're filing a petition to contest your grandmother's will." I set down my highlighter carefully. "On what grounds?" "They're claiming your grandmother had dementia when she wrote the will, that she wasn't of sound mind, that the inheritance should be split equally between you and your sister or returned to the estate for redistribution." That's ridiculous. Grandma was sharp until the day she died. I agree, and we have documentation to prove it. The will was written by a reputable firm, and your grandmother underwent a cognitive evaluation by a licensed physician the same month. She passed with flying colors. So they don't have a case. Not a strong one, but he paused. They can still make this expensive and time-consuming for you. Legal battles over inheritance can drag on for months, even years, and they cost money, usually 10 to 20,000 in legal fees, minimum. I closed my eyes. Of course. They couldn't guilt me into giving them the money, so they were going to try to take it through the courts. What are my options? Option 1. We fight it. We present our documentation, we argue that the will is valid, and we almost certainly win, but it takes time and money. Option 2. You offer a settlement, give Claire a portion of the inheritance, say 25%, and make this go away. $14,000. Roughly. It would save you the legal fees and the stress. I thought about it. $14,000 to make this nightmare end, to never have to see my parents in a courtroom, to avoid months of legal wrangling and family drama. It was tempting, but it was also letting them win. Mr. Wright, if I give them money now, they'll just come back for more later, won't they? Silence. Then, in my experience, yes, probably. And if I fight this and win, then the court rules that the will is valid and binding. They can't challenge it again. It's over. How long will it take? 3 to 6 months, most likely, maybe longer if they drag their feet. 3 to 6 months of this hanging over my head. 3 to 6 months of legal bills and court dates and family drama. But then it would be done. Forever. Let's fight it, I said. Are you sure? I'm sure. My grandmother wanted me to have that money. I'm not letting them take it away from me. All right, I'll file our response. And Ms. Richardson? Yes? There's one more thing you should consider. If they're claiming your grandmother wasn't of sound mind, they're essentially arguing that she didn't know what she was doing. That opens them up to some uncomfortable questions. What kind of questions? Like, if she wasn't of sound mind, why did you allow her to manage her own finances? Why didn't you seek guardianship? Why did you wait until after her death to raise these concerns? It makes them look opportunistic, like they only care about her mental state now that there's money involved. I smiled grimly. So we can make them look bad in court. We can demonstrate that their concerns are financially motivated rather than legitimately medical, yes. Good. Do it. After I hung up, I sat at my kitchen table and stared at my medical billing textbook without seeing it. They were really doing this, taking me to court, trying to use the legal system to force me to give them money. I called Jessica. They're suing me. What? I explained everything. The contested will, the dementia claim, the months of legal battle ahead. Those absolute fuckers, Jessica said when I finished. Sorry, I know they're your parents, but no, you're right. They are absolute fuckers. Are you okay? I don't know. I'm angry and tired and kind of relieved. Relieved? Because now I know. Now I know exactly who they are and what they're willing to do. There's no more wondering if I'm overreacting or being too harsh. They're literally suing me for money my grandmother left me. The masks are off. What are you going to do? Fight them. Daniel says we'll win. And in the meantime? In the meantime, I keep going to class, keep studying, keep building my life. They don't get to derail me. That's my girl. But that evening, alone in my apartment, the anger gave way to something else. Grief, maybe, or exhaustion. I looked at old photos on my phone, pictures from childhood. Me and Claire at the beach, building sand castles. Me and my parents at my high school graduation, their smiles tight and perfunctory. Claire's dance recitals, where they beamed with pride. In every photo, I could see it now, the difference in how they looked at us. Claire got the warm smiles, the genuine joy. I got the polite acknowledgement, the "that's nice, dear" treatment. How had I not seen it before? Or maybe I had seen it. Maybe I'd just convinced myself it didn't matter. My phone buzzed, an email from my parents' lawyer. Ms. Richardson, I represent David and Karen Thompson in the matter of the estate of Martha Richardson. My clients are prepared to pursue this case vigorously, but they would prefer to reach an amicable settlement. They propose the following. You retain $30,000 of the inheritance, and $26,847 is paid to your sister, Claire Richardson. This represents a more equitable distribution that your clients believe your grandmother would have wanted if she had been thinking clearly. If you agree to these terms, we can resolve this matter quickly and avoid costly litigation. If not, we will proceed with our petition and seek full redistribution of the estate. Please respond within 72 hours. Respectfully, Margaret Chin, Esquire. 30,000. They wanted me to give up almost half. I forwarded the email to Daniel Wright with a one-line response. Not interested, let them sue. His reply came 5 minutes later. Understood. I'll draft our response. They're not going to like it. Good, I typed back. That Friday, I got another call, this time from a number I didn't recognize. Virginia area code. Hello? Emma? It's Uncle James. My father's younger brother. I hadn't talked to him in at least a year. Uncle James, hi. I heard about the legal situation with the inheritance. News travels fast. Your Aunt Rebecca told me she's worried about you. I'm fine. Are you? Because from where I'm sitting, it sounds like you're going through hell. I sat down on my couch. It's been a rough few weeks. I can imagine. Listen, I'm calling because there's something you should know about your dad. What about him? Do you know why he is the way he is, with you and Claire? Because he's an asshole? James laughed, but it was sad. No, well, yes, but there's more to it. Your dad, Emma, he was the oldest of 4 kids. Did you know that? I knew he had siblings. He was the responsible one, the one who took care of everyone. When our parents struggled financially, which was often, David was the one who stepped up. He worked 2 jobs through high school. He gave up his college fund so Rebecca and I could go to state school. I hadn't known that. Our parents praised Rebecca and me, James continued. We were the success stories. The ones who went to college, got good jobs, made them proud. David? He got thanked, sure, but mostly he got ignored. Because he was strong. He didn't need praise. He didn't need attention. He just needed to keep being strong so everyone else could lean on him. My chest tightened. Your dad swore he'd never do that to his kids. He swore he'd treat them equally. He swore he'd never make one child feel invisible just because they were capable. But he did it anyway. Yes, because he became exactly like our parents. He saw you being strong and capable, and instead of celebrating that, he just expected it. He took it for granted. And when Claire struggled, he saw a chance to be the supportive parent he'd always wanted. He overcompensated, and he didn't see what he was doing to you in the process. That doesn't excuse it. No, it doesn't. I'm not calling to excuse him, Emma. I'm calling to tell you that he's not a villain. He's a victim who became a perpetrator. The cycle just repeated itself. Why are you telling me this? Because I think you need to know that this isn't personal. It's not about you not being good enough. It's about him never learning how to break the pattern. Does he know? Does he see what he's doing? I don't think he did. But I think he's starting to now, especially after you took your money back. He's been different, quieter, reflective. I think it shook him. Good. Emma, I'm not asking you to forgive him. I'm just asking you to understand that people are complicated. Your dad made terrible mistakes, but he's also hurting. And maybe, he's capable of change. Or maybe he's just sorry he got caught. Maybe. Time will tell. After James hung up, I sat with what he'd told me. My father had been the invisible child, too. The strong one who didn't need anything, the one who sacrificed and got nothing in return. And then, he'd done the exact same thing to me. It didn't make it okay, but it made it make sense. The following Monday, I was studying at a coffee shop when my phone exploded with notifications. Instagram, Facebook, text messages from numbers I didn't recognize. I opened Facebook first. My mother had posted a status update. A long one. Sometimes your children disappoint you in ways you never imagined. We raised both our daughters to understand the importance of family, loyalty, and generosity. We gave them everything: love, support, opportunities. We sacrificed our own comfort to ensure they had good lives. But sometimes, no matter how much you give, it's never enough for some people. Sometimes your children choose money over family. They choose selfishness over love. They turn their backs on the people who raised them and accuse them of terrible things. We're going through a difficult time right now. We're being attacked by someone we loved and trusted. We're being painted as villains when all we ever did was love our daughters and try to do what was best for them. To those of you who have reached out with support, thank you. Your kindness means everything. To those who judge us without knowing the full story, we forgive you. And to the daughter who has hurt us so deeply, we still love you, even though you've chosen this path. We're praying you'll come back to us before it's too late. #family first. #heartbroken. #stay strong. The post had 127 comments. I scrolled through them. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Family should stick together. Sending prayers. Some children are just ungrateful. You did your best. But there were other comments too. My cousin Rachel. What happened? My Aunt Rebecca. Karen, maybe you should tell them the whole story. My mother's reply to Rebecca. This is a private family matter, Rebecca. I'd appreciate if you didn't make assumptions. Rebecca. Private? You just posted about it on Facebook. Someone named Jennifer, whom I didn't know. Maybe there are two sides to every story. I kept scrolling. More support for my mother. More prayers and hearts and sympathetic comments. And then I saw it. A comment from someone named Michael Torres. Didn't Emma pay for Claire's Paris trip? That's what I heard. My mother's response. Emma voluntarily contributed to our household expenses. She was not asked to pay for anything specific. Lie. Complete lie. Jessica texted, Are you seeing this? Yeah. What are you going to do? I stared at the post, at my mother's carefully worded manipulation, at the dozens of people offering sympathy without knowing what she'd actually done. I could ignore it, stay silent, let her have her narrative. Or I could tell the truth. My hands were shaking as I typed my comment. Mom, since you've decided to make this public, let me share some facts. 1. I gave you $36,000 over 6 years because you said you needed it for medical bills. You spent it on vacations and gifts for Claire. 2. You hid my $50,000 inheritance from Grandma Martha for 4 years. That's not disappointment. That's fraud. 3. You forgot my 30th birthday because you were too busy taking Claire to Paris on a surprise trip paid for with my money. 4. You commented on Instagram that Claire is the one who makes us proud, not one of the ones. The one. 5. You're now suing me to try to force me to give up the inheritance that was legally left to me. I didn't choose money over family. I chose myself over abuse. There's a difference. If you want to tell people about this, tell them the whole story. Don't make yourself the victim when you're the one who lied and stole and manipulated. I hit post before I could change my mind. Then I turned off my phone. My hands were still shaking. My heart was pounding. I felt like I might throw up, but I also felt lighter. The truth was out there now, for everyone to see. No more secrets. No more protecting them from the consequences of their own actions. I ordered another coffee and went back to studying. Or tried to. My brain couldn't focus on ICD-10 codes when I'd just publicly called out my parents on social media. After an hour, I turned my phone back on. 247 notifications. The comment thread under my mother's post had exploded. Over 200 comments now. Aunt Rebecca. Finally, someone said it. Cousin Rachel. Oh my God, Emma, I had no idea. My cousin Jake. Emma's been supporting you financially for years and you never even thanked her. Maybe she got tired of being taken for granted. Someone named Patricia. Wait, you hid an inheritance from your daughter? That's illegal. My mother's friends rushing to her defense. There are two sides to every story. Children nowadays are so disrespectful. Money changes people. But the tide was shifting. More people were asking questions. More people were pointing out the holes in my mother's story, and my mother had stopped responding. My phone rang. Aunt Rebecca. Emma! Oh my God, good for you! You think I did the right thing? Absolutely. I've been wanting to say something for years, but it wasn't my place. But now everyone knows the truth. Is Uncle James mad? James thinks your parents got what they deserved. He's been talking to your dad, trying to get him to see reason, but your mother, she sighed. Karen's in full victim mode. She's telling everyone you're lying, that you're exaggerating, that she's being persecuted. How's Dad handling it? He's quiet. Really quiet. I think he's ashamed. Good. Emma, I want you to know, whatever happens, I'm on your side. Rebecca, James, your cousins. We see what they did. We support you. Thank you. That means more than you know. After we hung up, I scrolled through the comments again. Some people were messaging me privately, relatives I barely knew, asking for more details. Some were offering support. Some were trying to play mediator. Maybe you could all sit down and talk this out. I didn't respond to any of them, but I did see one comment that made me pause. From Claire. Emma's telling the truth, about all of it. I'm sorry I didn't stand up for her sooner. And underneath, my mother's response. Claire, don't let your sister manipulate you. Claire's reply. She's not manipulating me, Mom. She's being honest, and it's time I was honest too. I screenshot the exchange and saved it to my photos. Then I blocked my mother on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I was done performing for her audience. 3 weeks later, my father called from a new number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Emma, please don't hang up. What do you want, Dad? I want to talk, face to face. No lawyers, no social media. Just family. We tried that. It didn't work. I know, but I'm asking you to try again. Please. Your mother and we want to make this right. I laughed bitterly. By suing me? We're dropping the lawsuit. That stopped me. What? We're withdrawing the petition. Our lawyer advised us that we don't have a strong case, and I don't want to fight you anymore, Emma. I just want to talk. Why should I believe you? Because I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of this family falling apart. I'm tired of losing you. His voice cracked. Please, one dinner. You, me, your mother and Claire. If it doesn't go well, I'll never ask again. I thought about it. Every instinct told me to say no, to protect myself, to stay far away from the people who'd hurt me. But there was a small part of me, a stupid, hopeful part, that wanted to hear what they had to say. Fine. One dinner, but I choose the location, and Claire comes. Agreed. And Dad, if this is just another manipulation, if you try to guilt me or gaslight me or make me feel like the bad guy, I'm done. Forever. I understand. I chose a restaurant in downtown Richmond, public enough that they couldn't make a scene, nice enough that they'd have to behave. Friday night, 6 p.m. I told Claire about it when she called me later that week. She'd moved into her own apartment, a small studio, but it was hers. She sounded different on the phone, stronger. Are you sure you want to do this? She asked. No, but I'm doing it anyway. I'll be there. For moral support. Thank you. Emma, I've been going to therapy twice a week. Dr. Foster says I have codependency issues, that Mom and Dad made me feel like I couldn't survive without them. Are you okay? I'm getting there. It's hard, really hard, but I'm doing it. I'm proud of you. I could hear her crying softly. I don't deserve that. Maybe not. But you're trying. That counts for something. Friday night arrived too quickly. I got to the restaurant 15 minutes early, wore a navy dress and heels, armor. Claire arrived 10 minutes early, looking nervous. She'd lost weight. Her hair was pulled back in a simple ponytail instead of the elaborate styles she usually wore. You ready for this? She asked. No. Me neither. We sat at a table in the back corner. I ordered water. Claire ordered wine. At exactly 6 p.m., our parents walked in. They looked terrible. My mother had aged 10 years in 2 months. Her hair, usually perfectly styled, was pulled back in a messy bun. No makeup, dark circles under her eyes. She'd lost weight too. Her clothes hung loose on her frame. My father looked exhausted. His shoulders sagged. His eyes were red. They sat down across from us. The waiter came by, took drink orders, and disappeared. Nobody spoke. Finally, my father cleared his throat. Thank you both for coming. I said nothing. We want to apologize, my mother started. For what specifically? I interrupted. She looked taken aback. For making you feel unappreciated. Try again. Emma, I'm trying. No, you're not. You're doing that thing you always do where you apologize for how I feel instead of what you did. So let me ask again. What are you apologizing for, specifically? My mother's jaw tightened. She looked at my father, who looked down at his hands. We're apologizing for not telling you about the inheritance, he said quietly. And for using your money without being clear about where it was going. And, Emma, we're trying. And for forgetting my birthday. And for that Instagram comment. And for treating me like I was invisible for 30 years while you spoiled Claire. And for suing me when I finally stood up for myself. My mother's face was red now. We didn't spoil Claire. We helped her because she needed help. She needed help because you made her helpless. That's not fair. Isn't it? You coddled her from birth. You told her she was fragile, that she couldn't handle things on her own. You created her anxiety by never letting her face any challenges or develop any coping skills. Claire spoke up quietly. She's right, Mom. My mother turned to her, shocked. Claire, Dr. Foster says the same thing. She says you and Dad made me dependent, that you reinforced my anxiety instead of helping me build resilience. Your therapist is wrong. No, she's not. Claire's voice was firm. I'm 26 years old and I couldn't function without you. That's not normal. That's not healthy. We were protecting you. You were controlling me, Claire said, and I let you because it was easier than growing up. My mother looked like she'd been slapped. She turned back to me. Is this what you wanted? To turn your sister against us? I didn't turn her against you. I just stopped lying for you. We never asked you to lie. You lied about the inheritance. You lied about what you needed my money for. You lied about treating us equally. Everything about this family has been a lie. My father finally spoke. You're right. My mother whipped around to look at him. David! She's right, Karen. We lied. We manipulated. We played favorites. We took her money and her trust and we threw it away. We were trying to help. We were trying to help ourselves, my father said, his voice heavy. We were trying to feel like good parents by rescuing Claire, and we did it at Emma's expense. My mother's eyes filled with tears. I can't believe you're taking her side. I'm not taking sides. I'm admitting the truth. The truth is that Emma is being selfish. The truth is that we failed her. My father's voice rose. Several diners turned to look. He lowered it, but the intensity remained. We failed our daughter, Karen, for 30 years, and now she's done with us. And that's our fault. My mother stood up abruptly. I'm not going to sit here and be attacked. Then leave, I said calmly. She stared at me. What? If you can't handle an honest conversation, leave. Nobody's forcing you to stay. David, are you coming? My father looked at her, looked at me and Claire, then shook his head. No, I'm staying. Excuse me? I said I'm staying. We came here to talk. Emma and Claire are willing to talk. If you're not, that's your choice. My mother's face went through several expressions: shock, anger, betrayal. Fine. Fine. I'll leave all three of you to trash me without me here to defend myself. She grabbed her purse and walked out. The restaurant was quiet for a moment. Then the ambient noise returned. Conversations, the clink of silverware. My father sat there, looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. I'm sorry, he said finally. For all of it. I'm so sorry. And for the first time in my life, I believed him. We talked for 2 hours. My father told us about his own childhood, about being the responsible one, the invisible one, about how he'd promised himself he'd be different with his own kids and how he'd failed. I saw you being strong, Emma, and instead of celebrating it, I just assumed you'd always be fine, that you didn't need me. And I saw Claire struggling, and I saw a chance to be the father I'd always wanted. someone who actually helped, who actually mattered. But I needed you too, I said. I needed you to care, to show up, to remember my birthday. I know, and I didn't. I was so focused on Claire that I forgot I had 2 daughters. Claire was crying. I didn't want to be the fragile one. I wanted to be strong like Emma. You are strong, I told her. You just never got the chance to prove it. We talked about the money. My father explained that my mother had convinced him to hide the inheritance, arguing that the money would make Emma lazy and that Claire needed it more. I should have said no, he admitted. I should have told you the moment we got that letter, but I was weak. I've always been weak when it comes to your mother. Why? I asked. Because she had such a hard childhood. Her mother abandoned her. She grew up feeling unwanted. And when we had you two, she latched onto Claire because Claire needed her in a way you didn't. And I let her do it because I understood what it was like to feel unnecessary. But that meant making me feel unnecessary, I said. Yes, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He told us he'd gotten a new job, part-time accounting at a nonprofit. Less money, but more meaningful. He was also seeing a therapist, the first time in his life. I'm trying to change, he said. I can't undo the past, but I'm trying to be better. What about Mom? Claire asked. Your mother is struggling. She doesn't want to admit she did anything wrong. She thinks if she admits it, that makes her a bad mother, and she can't handle that. Is she in therapy? She went once, said the therapist was attacking her. She hasn't gone back. Will you stay with her? I asked. He was quiet for a long moment. I don't know. For now, yes. But if she can't change, I don't know how long I can keep living like this. The waiter came back asking if we wanted to order food. We did. The conversation shifted to lighter things. Claire's new apartment, my medical billing course, my father's new co-workers. It wasn't comfortable, it wasn't easy, but it was honest, and that was something. As we were leaving, my father hugged me, actually hugged me, not just the stiff, obligatory hugs from childhood. Can we do this again? He asked. Maybe once a month? Just dinner? Just us trying to be better? I looked at Claire. She nodded. Maybe, I said. If you follow through. If you actually change. I will. I promise. Don't promise me, Dad. Just do it. He nodded. Fair enough. Claire and I walked to our cars together. That was intense, she said. Yeah. Do you think he means it? I think he wants to mean it. Whether he'll actually follow through, time will tell. And Mom? I thought about my mother, about her rage and defensiveness, about her inability to admit fault. Mom's not ready, I said. Maybe she never will be. That's sad. Yes, but it's not my responsibility to fix her. Claire hugged me goodbye. Thank you for standing up for yourself. It helped me learn to stand up for myself too. You're doing great, Claire. Really. So are you. I drove home feeling strange. Not happy exactly. Not fixed. But less broken, maybe. My phone buzzed as I was parking, a text from my father. Thank you for giving me a chance. I know I don't deserve it. I'll do better. I promise to actually show up this time. I didn't respond. But I didn't block his number either. That was something. Spring arrived in Richmond with cherry blossoms and warm rain. I was 3 months into my medical billing course, and for the first time in my adult life, I felt like I was moving towards something instead of just surviving. The course was hard. Harder than I'd expected. Medical terminology, insurance procedures, billing codes, compliance regulations. My brain hurt most nights after class, but I loved it. I loved the challenge. I loved learning something that was entirely mine. Linda Martinez, the single mom I'd met in class, became a real friend. We studied together at coffee shops on weekends, quizzing each other on CPT codes and insurance verification processes. How do you remember all of this? She asked one Saturday afternoon, surrounded by flashcards and half-empty coffee cups. I don't. I just keep reviewing until it sticks. She laughed. You're going to ace this program. So are you. I hope so. My kids are counting on me. She looked at her phone, a text from her teenage daughter. I should get going. Homework help duty. Good luck. Emma? She paused at the door. I'm really glad we met. You've been a good friend through all this. You too. After she left, I stayed at the coffee shop and worked through practice problems, billing scenarios, insurance denials, appeals processes. My phone buzzed, a text from Claire. Job interview went well. They said they'd call by end of week. That's great. What's the job? Assistant at a publishing house. Entry level but good benefits. Fingers crossed for you. How's studying? Brain hurts. Worth it though. Proud of you. I smiled. Claire had been doing well, really well. She'd enrolled in community college, taking classes toward a business degree. She worked part-time at a bookstore. She was seeing Dr. Foster twice a week and actually doing the work. We had dinner together once a week now. Just us. No parents, no drama. Getting to know each other as adults instead of as the roles our family had assigned us. My father kept his promise too. Monthly dinners. Sometimes just him and me. Sometimes with Claire. He asked about my course, about my life, actually listened to the answers. He told me he and my mother were in couples therapy now. It wasn't going well. Your mother still thinks everyone else is the problem, he said at our March dinner. The therapist keeps trying to get her to examine her own behavior, and she just shuts down. Are you going to leave her? He looked tired. I don't know. Some days I want to. Some days I think maybe she'll get there eventually. And if she doesn't? Then I'll have to decide if I can live with that. I didn't push. That was his journey, not mine. My mother hadn't contacted me since the Facebook incident. No calls, no texts, no emails, complete silence. Part of me was relieved. Part of me was sad, mourning the mother I'd wanted but never had. In April, our medical billing instructor, a sharp woman named Diane who'd worked in healthcare administration for 20 years, pulled me aside after class. Emma, I wanted to talk to you about your work. Is something wrong? Wrong? No. You're one of the top students in the program. I've been doing this for a decade and you're consistently in the top 5%. Oh, thank you. I'm not just flattering you. I have a reason for bringing it up. She handed me a business card. I have a friend who works at Virginia Commonwealth University Health System. They're looking for a senior medical billing specialist. It's a competitive position, but I think you'd be perfect for it. My heart skipped. Really? Really. The pay is excellent. Around $68,000 starting. Full benefits. Room for advancement. I'd like to recommend you if you're interested. $68,000. That was $16,000 more than I made in pharmaceutical sales. I'm definitely interested. Great. I'll send Caroline Brooks your information. Expect a call within the week. I walked out of class feeling like I was floating. Jessica screamed when I called her from my car. Emma, that's amazing! I haven't gotten it yet. You will. You're brilliant. You work hard. They'd be lucky to have you. What if I'm not ready? I haven't even finished the course yet. You'll be finishing in 2 months. By the time you start the job, you'll be certified. She was right, but I was still terrified. The call came 3 days later. Ms. Richardson, this is Caroline Brooks from VCU Health System. Diane Williams gave me your information. Yes, thank you for calling. I've reviewed your resume and your coursework. I'm impressed. Would you be available for an interview next Tuesday at 10 a.m.? Absolutely. Wonderful. I'll email you the details. I spent the next 5 days preparing, researched the hospital, practiced answers to common interview questions, bought a new suit, navy blue, professional, confidence-inducing. Jessica helped me prep the night before. Why do you want to work in healthcare administration? Because I want to work in a field where what I do actually helps people, even if it's behind the scenes. Medical billing might not be glamorous, but it's essential. When billing runs smoothly, patients have less stress and providers can focus on care. Good. What's your biggest weakness? I tend to take on too much responsibility. In my previous role, I'd often step in to help colleagues even when it meant working longer hours. I'm learning to set better boundaries and delegate when appropriate. Excellent. You've got this. The interview was Tuesday morning. The VCU Health System building was modern glass and steel, bright and professional. Caroline Brooks met me in the lobby, mid-40s, warm smile, firm handshake. "Emma, thank you for coming. Let me show you around." She took me through the billing department. Rows of cubicles, but bright and well organized. People looked focused, but not stressed. The energy was good. The interview lasted an hour. Caroline asked about my pharmaceutical sales background, my coursework, my attention to detail. She gave me sample billing scenarios to work through. I nailed every single one. "This is impressive," Caroline said, reviewing my work. "You clearly understand the fundamentals, and Diane speaks very highly of you." She's been an excellent instructor. "Emma, I'm going to be direct. We're looking for someone who can handle high-pressure situations, manage complex billing cases, and work well with both our internal team and external insurance companies. From what I'm seeing here, you fit that description. Do you have any questions for me?" "What does success look like in this role? 6 months in, a year in?" 6 months. You're managing your caseload independently and consistently meeting accuracy benchmarks. 1 year. You're training newer staff and potentially moving into a team lead position. We promote from within, and we value people who grow with us. That sounds ideal. The starting salary is $68,000. Full benefits start day 1. 4 weeks PTO, and we have tuition reimbursement if you want to pursue additional certifications or a degree. It was perfect. Too perfect. I waited for the catch. "When would you need me to start?" "We'd like someone in place by mid-June. Does that work with your course schedule?" "I finished my certification in early June, so yes, that's perfect timing." "Wonderful. I have 2 more candidates to interview, but I'll make a decision by end of week. You'll hear from me one way or another." We shook hands. I walked back to my car on legs that didn't quite feel real. That evening, I was studying when my current boss called. "Emma, do you have a minute?" "Of course." "I heard you've been taking evening classes." "Medical billing?" My stomach dropped. "Yes. I've been working on a certification." "Are you planning to leave?" I could lie, make something up, but I was tired of lying. "I've been exploring opportunities in healthcare. I had an interview this week." Silence. Then, "I see. Well, we'd hate to lose you. You're one of our top performers. What would it take to keep you here?" "What do you mean?" "What if we countered? Promoted you to regional sales manager. 62,000 base salary plus commission, company car, full benefits." I did the math in my head. With commission, I'd probably make around 75,000, more than the hospital job. But it was still pharmaceutical sales, still the same work I'd been doing. Still not what I wanted. "Can I think about it?" "Take the weekend. But Emma, this is a good offer. Don't throw away your future here for something uncertain." After he hung up, I sat on my couch staring at nothing. The safe choice: stay in pharmaceutical sales. More money, known quantity. Career path, I understood. The risk: new job in a new field. Learning curve, starting over, but doing work I actually cared about. I called Jessica. They counter-offered 62,000 plus commission. And the hospital job? 68 flat, no commission, but benefits and room to grow. "What do you want to do?" "I want the hospital job, but what if I'm being stupid? What if I'm leaving money on the table?" "Emma, 6 months ago you were sending your parents $500 a month while eating ramen. Now you're choosing between 2 good jobs. You're not being stupid, you're being brave." "What if I fail? What if you succeed? What if this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing?" She was right. On Monday morning, I declined my boss's counteroffer. He wasn't happy. On Friday afternoon, Caroline called. "Emma, I'd like to offer you the position." I started crying. Right there at my desk. Happy tears. "I accept. Thank you so much." "Wonderful. I'll send over the paperwork. Welcome to VCU Health System." I gave my notice that afternoon. 2 weeks. My boss was cold but professional. That weekend, Claire and I celebrated with dinner at a nice restaurant. "You did it," she said, raising her wine glass. "You completely changed your life." We both did. You're in school, you have a job, you have your own place. Because you showed me it was possible. She took a sip of wine. Emma, I need to tell you something. What? Dr. Foster told me about the trust fund, the $30,000 from Grandma. I set down my fork. How do you feel about that? Honestly, I was angry at first, like even Grandma thought I was a failure who needed conditions and requirements. That's not. But then Dr. Foster helped me reframe it. Grandma wasn't punishing me. She was giving me a goal, a reason to build a life outside of Mom and Dad's control. Are you going to try to meet the conditions? I am. I'm enrolled in school. I've been living on my own for 3 months now. If I keep going, I'll have my associate's degree by the time I turn 27 in October, and then I'll have the money to continue my education or whatever else I want to do. I'm really proud of you, Claire. She looked down at her plate. I don't deserve that yet. Yes, you do. You're doing the work. That's what matters. Can I ask you something? Sure. Are you happy? Like, actually happy? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Yes, I said. For the first time in my life, I think I actually am. 6 months flew by. My job at VCU Health System was everything I'd hoped for and more. The work was challenging but meaningful. My coworkers were supportive. Caroline was an excellent boss, demanding but fair, always willing to mentor. In my 3rd month, she promoted me to Assistant Director of Medical Billing. $75,000, my own office, management responsibilities. I couldn't believe it. You've earned this, Caroline said when she gave me the news. You've streamlined our processes, reduced billing errors by 15%, and trained 3 new hires. You're exactly the kind of leader this department needs. I called my father first, then Jessica, then Linda, then Claire. Everyone was proud. Everyone was excited for me. I used part of my inheritance money for a down payment on a small townhouse. 2 bedrooms, updated kitchen, a backyard the size of a postage stamp, but mine. Claire helped me move in. We painted the spare bedroom together, pale blue, peaceful. This is really nice, Emma. Thanks. It's small, but it's mine. That's what matters. My father came by too, bringing a housewarming gift, a framed photo of me and Claire as kids, building sandcastles at the beach. We were both smiling, genuinely happy. I found this in a box in the garage, he said. Thought you might want it. I hung it in my living room. My mother. I hadn't heard from my mother in 6 months. According to my father, she was still in therapy but making minimal progress. She asks about you sometimes, he told me at our September dinner. But she won't admit she was wrong. She keeps saying everyone misunderstood her, that she was just trying to do her best. Maybe that's all she's capable of. Maybe? Then, in late October, a letter arrived. Handwritten envelope. My mother's distinctive cursive. Postmarked from Richmond. I almost threw it away without opening it, but something made me slice open the envelope and pull out the pages inside. Emma, I've written this letter 17 times. Your father says I need to be honest, so I'm going to try. I never wanted to be a mother who played favorites. I didn't think that's what I was doing. I thought I was being a good mother by taking care of Claire because she needed more help. I thought you were fine without me, but the truth is harder than that. The truth is that Claire was easier to love. She needed me, and that felt good. You were independent and smart, and that made me feel inadequate. When you succeeded, it reminded me of my own failures. When Claire struggled, I could swoop in and save her, and that made me feel important. Your grandmother Martha saw through me. She knew I wasn't being fair to you. That's why she left you the inheritance, more to you than to Claire. And instead of accepting that truth and changing, I doubled down. I hid it from you because I was angry that she was right. My therapist says I have abandonment issues from my own mother leaving, that I made Claire dependent on me so she wouldn't leave, that I pushed you away because I was afraid if I got too close you'd leave too, like my mother did. I don't know if that's true. It sounds like psychology textbook nonsense. But I do know that I was wrong, about the money, about the inheritance, about treating you like you didn't matter. I'm not writing this to ask for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I'm writing because you deserve the truth. I was a bad mother to you, Emma, not because I didn't love you, but because I loved myself more. I needed to feel needed, and I sacrificed you for that. I'm in therapy now, twice a week. It's not fun. The therapist makes me look at things I'd rather ignore. But your father says if I want any chance of having a relationship with you and Claire someday, I need to do this work. I don't know if I can change. I'm 56 years old and I've been this way for a long time. But I'm going to try. I heard about your promotion. I heard you bought a house. I'm proud of you. I should have said that 1,000 times over the years, but I never did. So I'm saying it now. I'm proud of you, Emma. I'm proud of the woman you've become, despite me. Maybe even in spite of me. I know you probably won't respond to this. That's okay. I just needed you to know that I see what I did. Finally. I love you. I know I haven't shown it, but I do. Mom. I read it 3 times, sat on my couch with the pages in my hand, tears running down my face. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't a complete transformation. She still hedged. I don't know if that's true. Psychology textbook nonsense. But it was more than I'd ever gotten from her. More honest than she'd ever been. I didn't know what to do with it. I called Claire. Mom sent me a letter. She sent me one too. What did yours say? That she's sorry for making me dependent, that she's sorry for not teaching me to be strong, that she loves me but she understands if I need space. How do you feel about it? Confused, angry, sad, hopeful? I don't know. It's a lot. Yeah. Are you going to respond to her? I don't know. Part of me wants to. Part of me thinks it's too little too late. Dr. Foster says there's no timeline for forgiveness, that we get to decide when and if we're ready. When do you think you'll be ready? I don't know. Maybe never. Maybe tomorrow. It changes every day. Same. Thanksgiving was approaching. Claire asked what I was doing. Jessica invited me to her family's dinner. You? Dad invited me to Aunt Rebecca's. You should come too. Will Mom be there? No. Dad says Mom's not ready for big family gatherings yet. I thought about it. Okay, I'll come. Thanksgiving at Aunt Rebecca's was warm and chaotic. 20 people crammed into her living room and dining room, kids running around, football on TV, the smell of turkey and stuffing and pie. My father looked lighter than I'd seen him in years. He hugged me when I arrived. I'm glad you're here. Me too. Rebecca cornered me in the kitchen while I was helping with dishes. Your mother's letter, she said. Did you read it? How did you know about that? Your father told me. He was worried you'd throw it away. I read it. And I don't know what to do with it. Rebecca dried a plate thoughtfully. You don't have to do anything with it. You can just let it sit. Let it be what it is, an attempt. Maybe the start of something? Maybe not. Do you think she means it? I think she wants to mean it. Whether she can actually change? Rebecca shrugged. Time will tell. During dinner, my father gave a toast. I'm thankful for family, he said, looking around the table. Both the family we're born into and the family we choose. I'm thankful for second chances. I'm thankful for my daughters, who are both braver and stronger than I ever was. He looked at me and Claire. Emma. Claire. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for teaching me what real strength looks like. Claire was crying. I was trying not to. And to my sister Rebecca, for always seeing the truth and not being afraid to say it. Thank you for keeping this family honest. Rebecca raised her glass. To honesty. To growth. To actually doing the damn work. Everyone laughed and drank. After dinner, Claire and I sat on the back porch with our coats on, watching the sun set. Do you think we're going to be okay? She asked. Like, actually okay? I think we're already okay. We're just figuring out what that looks like. I used to think being okay meant having Mom and Dad's approval, having everything be smooth and perfect and happy. And now? Now I think being okay means being honest, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. When did you get so wise? She laughed. $75 a session, twice a week. Therapy is expensive wisdom. Worth it, though? Completely. We sat in comfortable silence, watching the light fade from the sky. My phone buzzed. A text from my father. "Thank you for coming today. It meant everything to me. Love you." I typed back, "Love you too, Dad." It was the first time I'd said it in years and actually meant it. 2 months later, on a cold January morning, my father showed up at my door. It was a Saturday. I was in sweats, coffee in hand, planning to spend the day catching up on paperwork and maybe reading a book. The doorbell rang at 9 a.m. I opened the door to find my father standing there, looking nervous. "Dad, is everything okay?" "Everything's fine. Can I come in?" "Of course." He sat on my couch, holding an envelope in his hands, not speaking, just sitting there. "Dad, you're scaring me. What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. I have something for you. Something I need to give you." He handed me the envelope. I opened it. Inside was a check. I looked at the amount and stopped breathing. $38,000. "Dad, what is this?" "It's your money. The $36,000 you gave us over the years, plus $2,000 for the interest you would have earned if you'd kept it." "I don't understand." "I've been saving since I got my new job. I've been working double shifts, weekends, every hour I could get. It took me 11 months, but I saved it all." His voice was shaking. "Every dollar you gave us, I'm paying you back." "You didn't have to do this." "Yes, I did. Emma, you gave us that money in good faith. We betrayed your trust. We used you. I need to make this right." I stared at the check, at my father, at this man who was finally showing up for me. "Does Mom know?" "No. This is my debt to repay, not hers. This is my failure to fix. Dad, I can't undo the past. I can't give you back the childhood you deserved, the birthdays I missed, the times I should have chosen you and didn't." His voice broke. "But I can give you back what you gave us, and I can promise to be better going forward." I was crying now, ugly crying. "I don't need the money. I have a good job. I have my inheritance." "It's not about the money. It's about doing the right thing. It's about showing you that I'm serious about changing, that I'm not just saying words. I'm taking action." He pulled out another piece of paper from his jacket pocket. "There's something else you should know, about Claire's trust fund." "What about it?" "Your grandmother left her $30,000 conditional on finishing her degree and living independently for a year. But there was more to it than that, a separate document, a living trust set up before she died." "I don't understand." "Grandma Martha knew exactly what your mother and I were doing. She saw how we treated you both. So she structured the inheritances deliberately. She gave you money unconditionally because you were already strong, already capable. She gave Claire money with conditions because she needed an incentive to become independent." "But why didn't you tell me this before?" "Because I was ashamed. Because it meant admitting that my own mother saw what I was doing to you and tried to fix it. Because it meant facing the truth about what kind of father I'd been." He handed me the document. I skimmed through it. Legal language, but the intent was clear. "It is my hope that by structuring the bequests in this manner, I can encourage both my granddaughters to thrive, Emma in her continued independence, and Claire in her journey toward it. I have watched my daughter Karen make Emma invisible while making Claire dependent, and I cannot in good conscience reward that dynamic." I looked up at my father. "Grandma knew everything." "She did, and she was trying to save you both from us. She was playing 4D chess." He laughed through his tears. "She was smarter than all of us combined." We sat in silence for a moment. "Claire's going to get her money in October," I said. "She's finishing her associate's degree and she's been living alone for over a year now." "I know. She called me last week. She's excited and terrified. That's growth." "Emma, I need to ask you something." "What?" "Do you think someday you'll be able to forgive me?" "Not now. I'm not asking for that. But someday?" I thought about it. About all the hurt, all the years of feeling invisible, all the pain. But also about these last months. About him showing up. About therapy. About this check in my hands representing 11 months of double shifts and choosing to do the right thing. "I think I'm already starting to," I said quietly. I'm not there yet, but I'm not as angry as I was. That's more than I deserve. Probably. But you're trying. That's what matters. He stood to leave. Can we keep doing dinners? Monthly? Maybe I can do better this time. Actually show up. Actually be a father. Yeah, we can keep doing dinners. He hugged me, long and tight. I love you, Emma. I should have said that more. I should have shown it. But I love you, and I'm so proud of you. I love you too, Dad. After he left, I sat on my couch with the check in my hand. $38,000. Not because I needed it, not because he owed me legally, but because he wanted to show me he was serious about changing. I took a picture of the check and texted it to Claire. Holy shit, she replied. He actually did it. He actually did it. Are you okay? Yeah, I think I am. Emma? Yeah? I got my money last week. The trust fund. $33,000 with interest. That's amazing. Congratulations. I want to give you half. What? No. That's yours. You gave Mom and Dad $36,000 thinking you were helping me. Let me make it right. Claire, you don't have to. Please. I need to do this. Let me do this. I thought about it. About pride and independence and the complicated dance of family. Okay, but on one condition. What? We use it together. Take a trip. Sister's trip. Just us. Long pause. Then, really? Really? Where do you want to go? Anywhere? Everywhere. Somewhere we've never been. Where? Portland? Perfect. We went to Portland in March. 5 days. Bookstores and coffee shops and hiking trails. Mountains and rain and food trucks. It was the first vacation I'd taken in 6 years. Claire and I talked about everything. Our childhood, our parents, our futures. We laughed. We cried. We got lost trying to find a trailhead and ended up at a small-town diner that served the best pie either of us had ever tasted. On the last night, sitting on the balcony of our hotel room, looking out at the lights of the city, Claire said, "Do you think we'll ever have a normal relationship with Mom?" I don't know. Maybe normal isn't the goal. Maybe honest is enough. Dr. Foster says I might never have the mother-daughter relationship I want with her. Me neither, but we have each other. We do. She smiled. You know what's funny? I spent so many years being jealous of how strong and independent you were, wishing I could be like you. And I spent those same years wishing I was the one they loved more. We were both wrong. Yeah, we were. But we're figuring it out now. Yeah, we are. My 31st birthday fell on a Tuesday. I took the day off work, a first for me. That evening, I hosted a party at my townhouse. Nothing fancy, just the people who mattered. Jessica brought wine and insisted on making a toast. Linda brought her kids, who immediately started exploring my backyard. Aunt Rebecca brought a homemade cake. Claire brought flowers. My father came too, bringing a framed photo, me at my medical billing course graduation, smiling and holding my certification. I'm sorry I wasn't there for the actual ceremony, he said quietly. But I'm here now. That's what matters. We ate dinner, takeout pizza, because I still couldn't cook worth a damn. We laughed and told stories and played card games. Someone asked me to make a wish when we lit the candles on the cake. What did you wish for? Claire asked. I don't need to wish for anything. I already have everything I want. It was true. Not in a fairy tale, everything is perfect way, but in a real honest way. I had a job I loved, a home that was mine, friends who actually showed up, a sister who was learning to stand on her own, a father who was trying, really trying to be better. My mother was still my mother, complicated, difficult, unable to fully admit fault. But she was trying too, in her own way. I wasn't ready to have a relationship with her yet. Maybe I never would be, and I was okay with that. After everyone left and I was cleaning up, I sat on my couch and opened my laptop, started typing in my journal, something my therapist had suggested. 1 year ago, I sat alone with a cupcake, feeling invisible. Today, I'm surrounded by people who see me. I didn't get the family I wanted, but I built the life I needed. Mom still doesn't fully get it. Maybe she never will. And I'm okay with that. It's not my job to fix her, It's my job to protect myself and build a life I'm proud of. Dad is trying, really trying, and that's enough for now. Claire is thriving, and that makes me happy in ways I didn't expect. I made mistakes in this process. I was harsh sometimes, cold, maybe too unforgiving. I cut people off when maybe I could have been more patient. But I'm not sorry for choosing myself. I'd do it again. The best revenge isn't living well, it's living authentically, being honest about who you are and what you need, setting boundaries and keeping them. I'm not perfect, I'm not healed, but I'm whole, and that's enough. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. I almost deleted it, but something made me open it. Emma, it's Mom. I saw the photo Rebecca posted of your birthday party. You look happy. I'm glad. I love you, even if I never learned how to show it right. Happy birthday. Mom. I stared at the message for a long moment. Then I typed, Thank you. I love you too. It's complicated, but it's true. I hit send, put my phone down, went to bed feeling something I hadn't felt in a very long time. Not perfect, not healed, but whole. And tomorrow, I'd wake up and keep building, keep growing, keep choosing myself while making space for the people who actually showed up. Because that's what healing looks like. Not a fairy tale ending where everything is fixed and everyone apologizes and the family comes back together in perfect harmony, but a real ending, where you survive, where you thrive, where you build something beautiful out of the broken pieces, where you learn that the family you choose can matter just as much as the family you're born into, where you discover that loving yourself isn't selfish, it's survival, and where you finally understand that you were always enough, even when they couldn't see it, even when you couldn't see it yourself. You were always enough.